sports is a great way to keep kids safe.
We discussed it. I think sports not only are a great way to keep people off drugs, but it's a great way to help graduation rates and other things. I will go back again to things that we're blessed in our community. You know, Michelle, you talked to Michelle about the school partnership in this town. Michelle will rave about how good the school is to the rec department. And I think we also need to have that as a talking point. I don't think people realize how much the school does for the town. You know, since I've been here, people want to point out all the things that the town does for the school, but I don't think people really capture the full extent of what the school does for the town and help us leverage these programs. We're fortunate because the school does let us use the basketball court. You know, and I think, Michelle, you explained to me that there was other towns that other rec departments actually had to pay their schools to use that, and we're very, very grateful for what the school does for the town. As far as those sports, I would go back to the 20-year plan. I think that's one of those 18 initiatives. If we can define those initiatives instead of coming up with a whole bunch of splinter things, if we really define a strategic initiative and we capture that in the overall Raymond 2040 plan of how Raymond is, I think that's a great idea. Building infrastructure is extremely, extremely expensive. Partnerships are just about being decent to each other, you know, and having a common goal. And I think there may be some, you know, they've been fair with the use of the basketball court. You can see how far that can go, and if there's capacity there.
That probably answers my second question. My second question was, in your 20-year plan, is there a community center?
So I'll give you so you said a very key thing. No, she said your 20-year plan.
I'm sorry, our 20-year plan.
There you go.
I might not have
So this
20
will
years
be
left,
Joe
so it
Ilsley's,
might
this
be
will
your
not be
plan.
Joe Ilsley's 20-year plan. This will be the town of Raymond's, the community's 20-year plan. What I ask is that people from the community help develop this plan, and I can help balance out some of the pros and cons of decisions and get all the different communities and all the different initiatives tied together and try to capture interoperabilities and efficiencies. But it will not be my 20-year plan, and until we get a community group to come over and help develop that plan, we don't know what's in that plan.
You won't have any trouble getting that
Good.
community group set up.
Good. And I think we need all factions. It can't just be a single representation. It needs to be people from, the only way we can address this is if it's people from all factions of the community. You know what I mean? And it's got to be civil. Right? So.
I would just like to piggyback on that. Part of this grant that we get funding for, we have to match it 150% dollar for dollar. And all of the partnerships we have, especially with the school, the churches, the town for our office space. I've had people come in and to my office and say, who did you get mad? Or what did you do wrong? I stuck you in the closet. I'm like, I love my closet. Leave me alone.
And there's a lot of people trying to take her closet too.
There's a lot of great things that come out of this closet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're very grateful for all of our space. We're very grateful for the school for letting us do events. We have an event coming up. Tina contacted Kim. There's a vaping. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But those are all those connections. And all of those things Pam does are in kind. So she has to have a dollar amount that we've gotten from previous town managers and previous superintendents that puts a value on each piece of the building and how long we have it. And that makes up $187,000 a year that helps us continue to get our grant. So we definitely have space. It's not a space that has a plaque out front that has our name on it necessarily, but we have space that we utilize throughout the town. We're very grateful for all of those partnerships. I think our town has done an amazing job working together and building on those relationships. We all know, I mean, Janice brought up a great thing, Bill alluded to it, a community center is what this town has been screaming for since we started. Literally, we had a building committee when the coalition started. We would 100% support being a part of our plan and helping move that forward, so I'm glad that conversation started. But thank you. Does anybody else have anything for him?
Sorry.
Hi, first I'm Karen from Granite Pathways, and one of the services that we provide for the town of Raymond is the Regional Access Point Services Program, which is connected to the 24/7 addiction crisis line in New Hampshire. And so first I want to just humbly thank you for your service in law enforcement and in the military. I'm really excited that you're here.
So am I.
And just quickly to piggyback on Austin 17 House, we actually, just yesterday, you'll have it in your email, I sent it out yesterday, we're having a recovery-friendly job fair on October 24th in Portsmouth. And on a regular basis, I work with individuals who have felony convictions or misdemeanor convictions to help them find work. We also help them to sustain their recovery in that process. So we have a whole program leading up to that job fair where we're going to be helping individuals to prepare for interviews. And as a matter of fact, just last night, I got a referral from a resident in Raymond for someone who has a felony conviction who just emailed me this morning that I'll be helping today. So just wanted to mention that and let everyone know that we do have a program that we're initiating currently. My question for you is, are you a Raymond resident, and what brought you to this position, or what, a little bit more your background?
I'm not a Raymond resident,
Okay.
and I'll throw that story out there real quick. Why? I didn't even pick my home. You know, I think nobody understands the sacrifice of the military spouse. The last 5 years, my son's turning 5 October 15th, and this is his 5th home.
Yeah.
And my wife is a CPA and has not been able to practice for 5 years because I've been Mr. Fix-It for the last 5 years, floating around all over the globe, Germany, Turkey, getting moved out of Turkey rather quickly due to our neighbors ISIS, and moving down to Travis, Texas. So my wife didn't have a choice of where she lived. When I got the job offer, I put my wife on a plane and I said, go pick a home.
Nice.
And she picked a home, and the first day that I saw my house was the day before I came to work.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a shocker.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
but I don't know if I want to do that again. But
Yeah, settle in.
so the Amherst thing is more of a let my wife actually choose her own destiny for once. She deserves it. Why here? Well, I will offer you. I've given up jobs to come here. I was offered a job at the NSA as a senior policy analyst to come. They threw that out there, and I turned them down to come here. Why? I wanted to be able to continue my years of service, but I wanted to have a positive impact on a community. Now, a couple of years back, I came back to see some family members, and as I was leaving the airport out of Manchester, somebody was sitting next to me who was from Concord, and he was trying to convince me to come back home, and I thought it wouldn't ever be possible. I was like, no, you people that leave home, go get an education and experience, can come home and have an impact. And that just kind of stoked a little fire in me. And I wanted to move the natural progression from, being the top of law enforcement. Natural progression was actually municipal management. So, and my master's degree is in public administration anyway. So it kind of led to this. I only put in for 7 jobs in New Hampshire. And Raymond picked me up, and I will tell you what really swung me is, and I'm not going to say who the names were, but when I talked to the Board of Selectmen for my job interview, there was 2 board members who they were fighting back tears when they were talking about the people in this community. And I went back to my wife and I said, I want that job. Because if they care that much about the people in their community, I know that's a place I can work. Because we have to run our administration from what's good for the people is good for the town, not what's good for the town. The people just need to accept it. And it seemed like they were very open to that concept, and they truly cared about the people in this community. And that's something I can get behind and work. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm even happier you're here now.